so I'm somewhat excited about Wrath and Glory. So it came out as it's like a one-shot RPG. Everyone thinks they're super cool because they're into D&D and they can like talk. But the background or explicative nature of the thing, it's just memorization of random notebooks and a lot of fudging in between. It also installs a rambling, nonsensical campaigns, which are more about them than the actual game they're trying to play. Which is always the focus, but I like to think that you can at least give them the escapism that's worthwhile. I love Necromunda. Same reason I like Age of Sigmar. It's cheaper, right? Big old model Nagash costs you like, I don't know, $50, $100, like stupidly expensive probably. But he's also half the army points in a reasonable game. You also don't need to worry about moving 400 units without trays and carting around lead models or whatever the fuck they were doing. Anyway, Stormbound, which is another one. Anyway, Wrath and Glory was initially released by another company. And then I guess they either gave up or Cubicle 7 bought it and then they redid it. So I'm excited to see what they did because I really like how they do character generation, which is primarily focused on like, why are you in this? Like, for example, why are you in this system? Okay, in Cyberpunk 2077, we're just going to presume that you notice that nearly all of these are sexualized commercials of some kind of way. Even the food guy from All Foods. But there's some things that are just going to end up coming into play. The end of the genital mutilation won't be necessary. I think as well the fact that you don't really need to worry about nudity as much, because you just can't, or it's abstracted from you. That's going to be a change that is a lot of people are used to this. You have to think about a lot about why they're resisting traditional values, and also lets them put a lot of control mechanisms over other people because of taboo. Okay, so that's really what a lot of that crap goes to. Taboo moves societies, makes something illegal. Interracial marriage, being gay, having tricks where you say, okay, well, being gay is illegal, but lesbians are hot, so that's cool. And that makes fuck all sense, right? But for some people, it's like, yeah, I get it, man, I get it. Alright then, you know, it's, a bit ridiculous. Anyway, so, the first mod that we run Cyberpunk 2077 is, more than likely, like, the Mr. Study is that. Why? Because people pay a fortune for it. Because how many people are, like, bound down because, their PP don't work good, or they have lots of sex with someone when they're young, so it's slots, and they can tell by the shape of their V. We have people in the United States who say you can't teach children about their anatomy because, you know, we want to do that in our own time or something like that. Well, yes, that's true, but it's also a shield for a lot of people. Particularly after COVID, you want to bust that shield, in my opinion, because the first time, like, the little girl says, that's not what my one looks like and daddy did to me, you know that's a problem for the parents. They do not want to get found out like that. So, what we're really hiding when we don't educate people is massive abuse that we perpetrated against our own families. And, that's not great. And a lot of people care to persist it so much as a control mechanism that they'll pretty much do anything to, like, make a slave. As I've been trying to sell my house, people come into my room while I'm sleeping and say they're not a regular buyer, they're down from Bellevue. And I'm like, okay, cool, well, you're here, and and I'm trying to sell my house after I was divorced by someone who is unfaithful their whole life, got sick, and was reduced to less than themselves, and I kind of accepted that I'd carry that person for the rest of my life, and was okay with that. And as soon as everything was going well in Seattle, and it looked like they were doing some new leadership principles, and be like I could actually do things like chaplaincy and like work on something. Not proselytization of my crazy ways. It's saying there are many, many things. Well, I've been accused of everything. Are you a eugenicist? They'll tell me, well, I want all of the eugenicisms. Do you think? Then you're included. Are you human? Then you are of great sentience. Welcome. Stop being mad. You want to tell them this, but they don't want to hear it. Because what makes... It makes them money to kill people. And to foster prejudice in a way to take care of the problem is just a way to hide killing people. Well, ideally, they don't kill them, they force them to kill themselves. Well, by creating a bullying scenario which overwhelms them to the point where they want to just to make that stop. So, what have we perpetrated against our own, saying that they're not our own? In other words, slavery. And does America prospect for that? Oh, you know it does. You know it does. So I think hopefully, I truly hope that by the time we're in a place like this, that thing ahead of me is some form of a hospital. Right, that looks like a hospital. Maybe it's the military logo. I don't fucking know. Or we're all in these little canoptic arrangements. Look, there they are, off in your pyramids. You know, it's they want striation. And one thing I've really noticed coming to Seattle is that this place was built to be flattened. It was also very much on the wrong side of the war. You can tell that by, like in West Seattle with the signs around Alpha Beach. They show this feature that was either torn down, not completed, or rather else. And you go down the metro system, you see like Millennium Tube Station, this, that, the t'other. There's no newsstand. You can't remember anymore how to say fish and chips without trail mixes, crisps. Right, so what's crisps? They call them chips. Why do they want to keep doing that? To differentiate themselves from old masters. I face prejudice, which is ludicrous. Everything from he's a child pornographer, he wants to do OnlyFans, he's going to eat our children, he's going to abduct them, he's going to become a technophile, which does X, Y, Z. Every little drop of fucking hate they can throw down. But most of it is, honestly, they're upset with their form. They can't see how to change it.
What do you want?
And they don't like as well someone who tell them that. They don't like that at all. So you don't go around telling them that, but you kind of have a rep for having an integrity around that. So you don't do well with things like someone like completely breaking the rules of society, slamming them in your face, you complaining to HR, and then them saying, well, fuck you. See, a lot of those people are ex-Disney employees, which leads me to only believe you're either that because you were removed. Do you know, I don't know what the V sign means. Does that mean that they want to lick people's, like genitals? Or they want to have, like, they want to be split in two? Or they like the vajayjay? Or hello? It's just like, it's a mystery. But there's always a lot of meaning that's hidden in that they'll keep away from you. Just simply to cause that ambiguity within you. It's a bit disappointing, in all honesty. Because I don't know what they're protecting. And they're probably being paid. Because a lot of these things are unnecessary, and like, why would I do that to a stranger? Unless there's some kind of common motive in it that I'm not aware of. Which there might very well be. Not one of us, yeah.
Somebody call the
So graphical is great. No, but Mr. Sutton are like very likely to be early mods that come out because we're past this bit. I mean, I do some will exclude the name of George and Brandon. Dude, that was wrong with your kids. Anyway, there's a lot of people who are like embarrassed about having a small community, or this or that, or you know. Blah blah blah. Single chance. This, do that. It's my discretion. It's mine. It's my bad. They even have like tierings of allowed racism, but it's an excuse to hide the problem that they've done. They know society, the lot, other else. Like, why would they do this? Simply because that's what they can't be won. So they're going to just get rid of anyone who disagrees. And that seems to be the solution. One of them is TM. So, again, something like, you know, that you need to worry about that kind of thing. Sex activity, amongst other things, including much better health than drugs. Oh, yeah, there's nothing wrong with being high as fuck as long as you're fucking smoking. Someone might tell you that this is why you can't be. Well, are you operating heavy machinery? Are you under, like, some kind of adversary attack? You can beat any second, you can tell. One-shot RPG-ish, make a lot longer campaign. You pick a motivation or a easy oh shit. Oh fuck. And from there you assign careers. Anyway, it gives more context for and the Age of Sigmar one they did. Stormbound does the same kind of thing where literally you're forced into a group where you're kind of doing it whether you like it or not, because you're compelled to. Age of Sigmar is not a nice place, it's just it's primarily set only actually in this one.
She's here! I can feel her!
Similar to 77, where really we see this breakdown of government, which will be very different than others. Oh! I thought I saw it walking. Okay, that was not well happened. Clashing of government systems and minds brought to a microcosmic display. I really don't feel that my life and times should be made into something that is sort of the Holocaust within me, since other people like try and pray it away or pretend it doesn't exist. You know, the only thing I really regret about my divorce is that he would not allow follow through on the fact that it's pretty clear that someone hit you in the back of the head with the shape of your soul. So what happened? And much he decided he was going to when I look at him more objectively, he's a man in his mid-30s who doesn't have a lot of future for him other than the culinary degree and hopefully the cooking that he's going back to. Do you know what I said to him last thing he said when I went away? Should at least buy you some clothes because I want you to, you know, dress yourself properly because you never have when you were here. Do you have enough to make it work? He tried to ask me for alimony and things like that. It was just absolutely nothing question. It's a supposition as well because, like, you know, the former Leah, I'm changing my name in the process of it. It's endless. I honestly think that once I get my unemployment benefit, I will try and get the UK name change done first because it'll take less time than it does here, which is only a Seattle thing. Just ramming intolerances down people. They like to enjoy the irritation of people. Why? Because certain groups just want to keep kicking people. It's really why was it on the side of the road? Because to be honest, America took back the loss of the medical technologies after World War II, carried them forward with strange experimentation, which probably has been perpetrated all the way up until at you. They'll see people just expose things at you, do back again. Place objects and people in the way of you, to see what you do, and so on and so forth, just literally as an experiment. I was raped when I was 20 years old, statutory, by an ordained priest of the Episcopalian Church. I settled with them, and as such I'm not allowed to enter the grounds of the National Cathedral. I still forever. I don't think I want to. Regardless, they didn't stop. They persisted in saying, well, I'm just gonna do things to follow you. And that was compounded with an ability to do so by, well, my father killing himself and being forced to other else with the Freemasons. I am so embroiled in stupid secret society shit and I refuse to take part in it. And what I want to do is deconstruct that and focus on what structures our mind. What structures our mind as many as we can obtain. And run away from this whole. It's why they would call something like our Earth chariots in certain aspects of sex and reason. Because ours is too immature. What kills every single person in this season? What kills every single person in this season? Gravity. You become acutely aware of that. It's sore to do so. What are you doing?
Hey, you're blocking my way.
Students at first killings is allowed. Well, you just won't fit in because you're one of those. They'll just remake what one of those is. So I don't know if that's like as well. I don't know what the involvement of the CIA is in my life, or that it's gone or not gone. And the fact that I had top secret security clearance means they're going to watch me anyway. And I shouldn't be exposed to this level of violence of mind as punishments for something I have not done. Which they assume is me like someone like he's going to have sex with boys. It's only they want to do that. No. He had sex with boys when he was a boy. Does that make him irredeemable? Maybe in your mind. But I have died since then a lot. Like every fucking day. You don't get it. If you haven't been culture and even though there's a community that protects you, it's not true. It's just I wanted to be top of the food chain, I want to be this or that, I want that. A lot of them are addicted to drugs and they're in trap. Those things are cages. Ghettos. LGBT districts. They are to make a lot of people know the best home that they can look out. For me, I won't participate because I literally would rather be killed. But they won't do that. They'll just wait until you just expire. I don't know. Whoever is manifested by. Why in the fuck can't I sell my house? Like even I call them this little short set. Anything. And then all wants to no shit he wants to do. What is this? I've been trapped here since before Thanksgiving. The other side of this arrangement just fucked off to Virginia. And it has gone around with whatever hell they want to do. So apparently, I guess they're just like...
Ni siquiera soy de aquí.
The world that gets slaughtered.
There.
So I'm not for a bloodbath. Like that. But I really don't understand the source because I haven't done anything to done anything. Nor should they be so disrespectful. The hell it is I want to do. realize that some of you don't live poor, you fuck. A lot of people. You don't do it. You don't like coverage from the stage you drive. And so on and so forth until like your life feels a free ride. No, whoever it is who fucking their life is a free ride for you. That is not true. You're just somehow able to get away with it. You really hope that like organizations like the Catholic Church can clean their shit enough to pick this up. Because it just is a disappointment if otherwise. Well, how do I get my thousand views on this video? What kind of right are you trying to build when you show things on Prime TV? Like an appalling architecture review and say, that was my chance! Was that your way to say, well, I'm contributing to the war against what? You're not. You're trying to profit and slip. I see these people. Now either you lied to 500 plus about what piracy is on my first fucking day, persisted that kind of mechanism through every experience I had at AWS. Oh, by the way, while I worked on pretty much me and one other guy in India, right, so time gap huge, which meant with effectively only working on things ourselves. I did the entirety of the core services for a monitoring system, distributed monitoring system, and I architected the second one, which is able to self-replicate itself to a lot more. It's built to be cellularized, etc, etc, etc. And I got glowing reviews, and everything was going great. And then my husband decides to divorce me, and then oh, bam! I get like 0 days to deal with that. They don't just tell me that I've been removed. They ask me to go to arbitration. I'm like, fuck no, I have to lose them. And that's a way for them to isolate you from actually pursuing legal recourse. And particularly when I have members of my family which are hostile to me, which do things like pursue paralegalism and whatever they can to just sort of keep it locked down with being a chiropractor or this or that, how to hold them wrong. All of it's a trap because it's profitable like that. That's the bottom line. You just want to fuck and you think, well, the husband's gone, just take it over that way. I don't know what they think they're taking over, but I do still hold hope that my new changes will exit me from that. And this is fucking to go like, you have stop filming. Just to stop like hounding me to try to make me harm myself, which I won't do. My mother even starved me, I know that. Left me outside her house for a couple of weeks where I had guacamole from Whole Foods, which was really big out tastes, for a few days, and then I had a bottle of water with almonds in it, and vitamin tablets dissolved, and I had to survive basically there until I was out of food, and I went to the police and says, look, I need food, and they're like, well, won't give me. I says, well, you yourself is I'm gonna kill myself, and they're like, well, here's a big plate of baggies, and then they took me away, put me in a dungeon again. Oh, my family's put me in several of those. No, they go on holiday, and then they like make sure he controls himself. It's literally how do you have a legal slave, and then think it's cool and funny, and then try and elevate yourselves by selling elements of yourselves. Well, that's just how families get made. No, it isn't. It isn't. And if that's what America wants to become,
Caution! Oversized load!
so, as we say, give them all the goddamn previews they want. Literally, a lot of this comes down to, and then they don't like how they look like. Get that going. Focus on the mind of man. Look, you notice the distinct lack of any kind of like real vegetation. Other animals. You know, you're reminded that a lot of people don't have the capability of thought.
Expect the unexpected.
So if they don't have the capability of thought, they don't understand what you're on about. When it sounds complicated, it sounds disconnected. It's because it is. It's disconnected over several decades. But have to wonder if anyone's listening after you've been saying the same thing at them for decades. Not ready yet, not ready yet, not ready yet, not yet, not you, not yet, someone else, not you. Not this generation, not the other generation. Now you're sandwiched between the two. Ha 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 ha. That's the kind of shit I do. I don't think please. I often wonder like what life would be like if I'd never come back to the States. Alright, got some tweets from the NCAPD boys. We know who's talking. It's Netflix. I know in Boston. I think I can still talk to you. Thing is, Tom's gone. So send people after him. Check his pad, check his family. Come on, you know the drill. Also got the warehouse, check that too. Make it a fucking spectacle. Always better get around. Sure thing. Everything. Seems just a bastardized simplification of where we can be. You know, just typically they're like, well, you know, what upsets you if I'm upset? Inadequacy, mediocrity, and a waste of time. You're not supposed to waste time. Well, why aren't you getting a new job and becoming a manual laborer? Number one, I've already been a manual laborer. Number two, I'm not fucking built for it, as evidenced by my back. And number three, no. I've worked a very long time to achieve professional, acumen and a great deal of skill. And regardless of whether why having someone release me after literally not any time to deal with a familiar situation at all, to be an exercise in understanding and tolerance and how I have to deal with that in my day to day. It's nothing. Well, in the bulk area of the world, most people don't like gays and they think they should be thrown in fires, is what they say. I don't give a shit. This is the United States of America, or if not other places like civilized countries. It's not gonna give a shit. Well, what do? They just hide it from you in such and such a place. be called untouchable, or give in to the heat of a hose, or this, that, and the other. No, I don't. And that should be done. It's the same reason why it should be taken down. And it's the same reason Seattle should have hollow fucking statues of tails of great beasts eaten out by barnacles in some kind of atrocious feast with their hooks. Not a fan.